As you know, Harriman water is hard. It's always been hard. It will be hard, especially if we pull it from the ground. It has lots of minerals and calciums and all those other deposits that aren't harmful, but they don't taste or look good. It's harder on appliances and the fixtures and water heaters and dishwashers and clothes, all those things. To help mitigate those issues, we decided to purchase more water that actually lowered our hardness. It's significant. Even at my household, I've gone through lots less salt in my water softener. I've got salt that I purchased still sitting there because I haven't needed to fill it up. It's been great.
Welcome to Herrimanology,
the official podcast to keep up with Harriman City.
We'll take you inside the city, explore the latest news and updates, show you how your government operates, and discuss the issues that affect us all. Now, here are your hosts talking all things Harriman on Herrimanology.
All right, welcome to Herrimanology. It is Thursday, November 7th, and we have a cowboy hat in here today. I like it.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
I'm John LaFollette, the communications manager for Harriman City, joined today by Teddy Hodges, city council member for District 2.
Yep.
Why are you wearing a cowboy hat? The people want to know.
Yeah, so we do some amazing events for our distinguished citizens. Our senior social was this afternoon. We fed I think it was a ham and chicken dinner. Potatoes and carrots, all the fixins. We have a great partner that does most of our catering and food services here, Midville Mining Company. They're wonderful to work with. They treat us wonderful. And it was a cowboy theme. So we had wonderful decorations. Our event staff went to the nines. We had live music, a live four-piece band. It was great. So, yeah, I dress the part. So
love it. Any excuse to wear a cowboy hat's a good one.
Heck yeah. And I'm ready for the rodeo again, but I got to wait a few months.
Yeah, tickets won't go on sale for that for a few months, but reservations are open for the ice ribbon.
Oh,
so
yes.
That link became active this past Monday. So if you like to ice skate, even if you don't like to ice skate, now's a great chance to throw on some skates. And so it doesn't open until December 2nd, the actual ice ribbon, but reservations are open now.
Yeah, they're out there right now putting up the boards and getting it prepped. And December 2nd, a couple Mondays, we'll be there.
That's the same night as the Night of Lights, by the way.
Correct.
Which has traditionally been the first Monday after Thanksgiving, where Harriman brings in the holiday season.
Yep. So you get we come out. Usually it's a little tradacious with some weather and stuff, but it's a wonderful event. So
so go to harriman.gov/ice ribbon. It might be ice-ribbon, but one of those two URLs should get you there and get some reservations for the ice ribbon. So that it runs from December 2nd all the way through February, depending when the weather warms up, and it varies by a week or two every year, just depending when the ice starts melting. Let's talk water rates. We've talked a little bit about this the last several podcasts. Water rates did go up effective October 1st, and we've talked about that a lot, but something that I feel like I have failed to mention adequately is what the city's doing about water hardness. So maybe if you want to explain, what is water hardness, what has our history been with that, and what has now changed?
Yeah, so a little back history. Earlier this year, we proposed to purchase more water from our water supplier, Jordan Valley, and through that, the rates increased. And so we had to pay more for better, higher quality water, less hardness, and utilize our wells, our local water a little bit less. As you know, Harriman water is hard. It's always been hard. It will be hard, especially if we pull it from the ground. It has lots of TDS, total dissolved solids. It'll have the minerals and calciums and all those other deposits that aren't harmful, but they don't taste or look good. You finish your glass of water and there's sediment in it if you get it from the tap. So it's harder on appliances and the fixtures and water heaters and dishwashers and clothes, all those things. So to help mitigate those issues, we decided to purchase more water that actually lowered our hardness. I don't know the exact numbers, how much it's come down, but it's significant. Even at my household, I've gone through lots of less salt in my water softener. It's very significant. You can actually see the difference in the salt that is going through and the amount of salt we're using. So
typically in the past, let me back up even more. Harriman has basically two main sources of water. You mentioned the Jordan Valley Water Conservancy District, which is water that comes from outside of Harriman. It's a regional water supplier, basically. And we also have local in-ground wells in Harriman where we pull from. Correct. It is cheaper for the city to pull that in-ground water because you're not transmitting over a huge distance. But with it being in the ground, there are a lot of minerals in it, and it comes up pretty hard. And when we talk about water hardness, you mentioned it. Sometimes if you put dishes through a dishwasher, they come out kind of cloudy. There's that kind of residue on it.
Yep.
Those are minerals left over from the water. And like you said, they're safe, but you don't want cloudy glasses.
Yep.
Same thing with showers or things like that.
And you'll see a lot of the buildup on your shower heads or taps or faucets, and so
Yep. So the Jordan Valley sourced water is a lot less hard. To put it in some amount of perspective, it depends where the well water is in the city. We have several wells, but generally speaking, you'll be between 30 to 55, 60, let's say TDS, total dissolved solids that you mentioned for local water. And that is really, really, really hard. Jordan Valley water is somewhere between 6 and 9, 10-ish, somewhere around there. So a lot less hard. You're going to see a lot less impact on everything.
Yep.
The downside is that water does cost the city more to get, and then we pass that on to residents to make sure that our water utility can pay for itself. That water, Jordan Valley water, costs about 4 times more to get than locally sourced water. So that's why the city's been hesitant before to use exclusively Jordan Valley water, but the city council heard from residents pretty overwhelmingly, hey, our water's really hard. Is there anything you could do about it?
Yeah, and so we take it into the totality of the circumstance. Like if you have to replace your water heater every 7 years rather than every 12 years or 15 years, that cost is significant. And if we can save it by only doing $5 a month or the $6 a month that goes up for the average user, or even that's a bag or two of salt. And I've noticed in my own household, I've got salt that I purchased from Costco not too long ago, still sitting there because I haven't needed to fill it up. So
nice.
It's been great.
So hopefully residents will start to notice that. And yes, the water rates are going up or have gone up. You'll see that first bill
this month.
Month, probably right as you're listening to this podcast. But with that comes better water quality. So what changed was during the peak summer months, the hot months of the year, people are watering their lawns a lot. We use both Jordan Valley water and local water and kind of mix them together. We call it blending. But in the winter months, we used to use a lot less Jordan Valley water and use a lot more local water. And people often notice that change.
That shift, yep.
This year, we're using almost exclusively Jordan Valley water. So you'll see, hopefully, a lot better water quality during this winter.
Yeah, and we made the decision several months ago, but we wanted to postpone it till after those heavy uses and get into the winter time before you actually saw that bill increase. Yeah. So you're not watering your lawn with expensive water.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And one more thing, we've talked several times about 138th South.
Yeah.
That connection has been made. People are hopefully enjoying driving on that. We did get one question this week from Joe saying, it is wonderful that 138th South is now connected to Riverton and Bluffdale. Is the city, meaning Harriman City, working on other connection points? For example, 144th South near Real Vista or 150th South. What can you tell residents about those?
I had the pleasure of driving down 138 not too long ago. I've used it a couple times now. Remember, it's only 25 through the most of it, and it is residential through that whole area. That's why it is only 25 miles an hour. These other connections, we are very hopeful in the future there'll be some sort of connection, but we are planning our master transportation plan around the current roads and other new roads to hold the volume and flow. We always like interconnection between the cities because I think it blends well. It helps our shopping centers, helps their shopping centers. And Bluffdale and that Riverton area are great to access through, especially during the time of other construction, say 134th and the other road closures, so detours and stuff. So great question. We are hopeful that in the future we'll be connected. We don't have a plan for that yet, but we are keeping an eye on it. We're working with those cities And if we do get more information, we'll bring it to you.
Yeah. So hopefully in the future, it is definitely on our radar.
Yeah.
No immediate plans to do so, but we do a lot of long range transportation planning, our transportation master plan, and our plans and models are built so that in the future we project traffic flows and traffic connections. Right now they're built in a way that we're planning worst case scenario just to be conservative and cautious, as if those roads never connect, so that we know just in case our roads can handle that traffic long term. But it is still on our radar, hoping that those connections will be made and hoping that we can work with our partners long term.
Yeah. And most of these roads are residential roads, so it'll help local traffic and not really through traffic and high flow traffic areas. So we would love to see them, especially if your neighbors or community want to get back and forth. But again, it's residential traffic mostly, just like 138th.
Yeah. So thanks, Joe, for the question. If any other listeners have any other questions, just send them into communications@harriman.gov or email any of the council members or info@harriman.gov. We'll just send it in somewhere or leave a comment and we'll answer it on our next episode. So thanks, Councilmember Hodges, for coming in.
Always a great time.
Thank you for listening and watching, and we'll catch you next time.